All right, I think we're back in action. So again, welcome. This is our chat with the chief for the month of January, the first one of the year here in 2025. And so I would like to thank all those that log in. We have these interactions back and forth over the years, and I look forward to another year. Trying to be as open and transparent as we can, talking about bringing you up to speed on kind of what's going on in our department, what's happened in the past, what's currently going on, and then what plans we have or what we foresee coming in the future. Just to sharing some things with you. Um, Ria, hey, how are you? Hope all is well. Hope you're staying warm. It's cold out there today. So as we go through, I'll give you a little bit of brief back on the year of 2024. It was a very good year for us in law enforcement in our city. We'll talk about some things that we're doing currently and then what we have upcoming here around the corner with some graduations. But we just had some really good events over the weekend. I really, really enjoyed that. Um, it was just it's a long weekend as we celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King holiday, um, his impact on this country and the civil rights movement, and then all about service. So talk a little bit about that, and then if anyone has questions, please feel or comments. Right, we can have some dialogue. I just preface that if it's a question about a particular case, I'll try to be as open and transparent as I can, but I don't want to comment on anything or say anything that might hurt the investigation that the detectives are currently involved in, or a case that's pending court or that's going on in court as we speak. So I'll try to hit each post that comes through. Sometimes it jumps. So you may hear me ask Lauren to scroll back up or scroll down. I want to make sure I read that completely. But if I miss a post, charge that to my heart. It's not on purpose by any means. Lauren will keep me on track. So Lauren is here working with me today with this afternoon. We'll have a session here from 12 to 1, and then we'll come back this evening at 6, right?
Hmm.
6 to 7 this evening. Joy, I appreciate you. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that we're back. Uh, and if one of y'all wouldn't mind, would you let me know is the audio good and the picture okay? Is it sounding and we're coming through? Okay. So just touching base a little bit on, I want to recap a little bit of 2024. We had a mandate from the mayor, an ask, as he did, Mayor Jones did the State of the City last year. He really wanted to focus on, he asked the department and asked our city, our community, if you will, he really wanted to focus on gun violence. And for me, that's kind of two areas. That is individuals that we have in non-fatal shootings, and then, of course, regrettably, the number of homicides that we have in our city. Those were the two things that he wanted us to focus on, and we did. Now, I'll be the first to say, I don't believe, Joy, thank you for that. Both audio and visual, good. Thank you for that. I'll be the first to say, Keith, it's good to have you on here, my friend. Thank you, buddy. Uh, it, it cannot be just the police department alone. When you're addressing issues of violence, if it's a violent act, that can be in response to we can address or try to prevent if we know what that act is ahead of time or it's happening and we're responding to it. But when we're talking on a year basis for our city to address violence, everyone comes into play. When I say everyone, I mean our community, our police department, our fire department, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, Parks and Rec, our school system, neighborhood watch organizations, our businesses, our faith leaders, human services, right, child protective services. All of those things play a role in how we address violence, offering intervention, our street outreach workers offering uh, clearing cases once they occur, and then putting a presence in locations where we see crime spike, uh, and trying to remove resources around. What's the cause, right? What is feeding all that? So we're looking at those things globally. So we did a lot of things um, last year, uh, and partnerships that led to the reductions that we saw in 2024 compared to what we had in 2023. And I believe wholeheartedly that the mayor's that's going to be one of his talking points at the State of the City address this year. I stay in constant contact with him. He's very engaged with what's going on in our community and our department. Um, how are we looking? What do we have? What resources do you need? How are we responding to this? Where are we at with this case? So he asks a lot of questions. He's very in tune. And I appreciate that, much like our city manager and assistant city manager, about where are we at. Really all of council will call and ask questions on their areas and the city, how we're looking. Um, and that's important. That's beneficial. So we made some really good reductions in our homicides for the year, and really good reductions in our shootings. We probably had the lowest number of homicides in about 10 years, and I know we had the lowest in 10 years. And then we may have had the lowest number of shootings in the last 20, 25 years. Just really, really good. So how did we get there? What did we use, right? So all of those entities played a role. You saw that we had the midnight basketball programs in the summer. We worked with our Commonwealth attorney and focusing on our most violent offenders. We partnered with our state and federal partners, sharing information with the surrounding jurisdictions. Crime doesn't have boundaries and borders. It crosses streets and it crosses jurisdictions. Our crime analysts, the analytical work that they did, partnering with our schools to get early notifications of problems that are occurring in the schools that may lead back over into the community, or problems that happened in the community that may lead over into problems in schools on Monday or Tuesday, and addressing things in a quick manner. So when an incident does happen, I want to look at our clearance rates. Are we making arrests? Are we solving cases? And last year in 2024, we were above the national average in every single category. So that's rape, robbery, murder, non-fatal shootings, burglaries, larcenies, auto theft, every category. The FBI sets a national average. And what most departments will do is they want to be above that average. If you're below that average, you need to tweak some things, right? Or if you're there, so how do we get better? In every one of those categories, we were above that average. I think my conversations with Chief Creswell, I think we had 18 murder trials last year, and 17 of those ended in convictions. We took over 1,000 firearms off the streets. We partnered with the state police over a summer initiative, focusing in areas and again on our most violent offenders, making sure that we present good cases to the Commonwealth attorney and getting ahead of situations before they escalate. It's always hard when you have situations that happen inside a residence or an apartment or some type of dwelling because you can't see that, whether it's domestic related or things, arguments that take place inside. But it's also a quick response to those type cases and making a quick arrest, not rushing it, but making a quick arrest that we don't allow retaliation or things to escalate and where we have multiple incidents. So all of those things, we talk about fire department, the calls that they go on, if they go on overdoses or drug paraphernalia at a house, to let us know that this is a house we might need to take a look at. Our schools we've talked about already, child protective services, if there's things going on in a home where a child is in danger, to let us know that we can respond. Or if we go to a call and see that we can make that contact with child protective services, working hand in hand with our domestic violence unit. On the outreach side, bringing awareness, but also responding to that. All of those things, and everybody in the department, right? And I would say the different entities we have in our city really focusing on violent crime, specifically firearm-related incidences, I think made a huge, huge difference. And it was just full force from day one, and it led to really good reduction. So you'll get a little bit more than that from the mayor, I think, in his city address to talk about some of the successes. I remind myself and our department and our community, we look at data. We're dropping homicides by 50%. We're dropping shootings by 30%. But we're looking at data. Those data points, those points of interest, those are still people. They're family members. They're communities and neighborhoods. We know those individuals, right? We know those families. We've had interaction with them. So I never just look at it as just a data point. It is about individuals. But what I do want to look at is if we are seeing incidents on the rise, then we need to tweak our strategies and responses. And if we're seeing those kind of staying stagnant, we need to try something different. But if we're going the wrong direction, we got to make some quick adjustments. It has to be able to move in the fluid. We can't. Every situation isn't the same. Every community, every neighborhood isn't the same. What is the root cause? Why did this happen? And how do we prevent it from happening again? Or how now do we make sure that this individual is held accountable for the actions that they've committed? And we put a good case before the Commonwealth attorney, and then ultimately in our circuit court judges' hands and in our community's hands. But last year we had some really, really, really good reductions, and I'm excited to talk about that. More to follow. The mayor's going to do some of that at the state of the city, and then I'll probably do some follow-ups. You may have seen some numbers already published in the media, but the men and women here did an amazing job, sworn and civilian both, on reductions in shootings this year and reductions in loss of life and homicides. So I just am very, very thankful. I know there was a lot of churches that offered prayer, communities getting involved, neighborhood watch associations. Technology has played a huge role. It's a huge investment. It's always hard to get people that want to come forward and want to come to court. Nervousness and fear of retaliation, and now I'm exposing myself to people knowing that I saw this or heard this. So technology plays such a great role, and it's been very, very beneficial for us. And I'm very, very thankful for our leadership in our city understanding and acknowledging that technology plays a role as we go into addressing crime. Let me just kind of keep up. Let me go back. Keith, good afternoon, Chief. Hope all is well. Hope you had a good holiday. Keith, same to you, my friend. We'll come back to the event in Ashland. Yeah, I want to make sure I get that on my calendar and come up and spend the day up there and interact with you guys, Keith. So, man, keep on me about that, but I definitely, and we want to get some recruiters up there this year. Joy, thank you again. I appreciate that. Anna, sounds good. Oh, you're letting us know the pictures. Okay, great. Thank you. Miss Lee, Alexandra Lee, is she loud? Hello, Alexandra, help me a little bit. Am I missing something? Did I skip one? Or if I did, I apologize. Carrie, thanks for the information. Carrie, you're very, very welcome. Keith, what advice would you give to a 50-year-old, 30 law enforcement veteran of a deputy who recently got promoted to sergeant for the first time ever in his career? So, Keith, age, law enforcement's changed a lot. I'm in my oh my gosh, I'm going to date myself. I'm in my early to mid 50s. Law enforcement has changed a lot, and it continues to change. I think community expectations. I think being transparent, relating to a younger workforce that came up differently than we did. When I came in, you still had some people, that had I don't know what had. I came in the early 90s, and communities change, expectations change, transparency changes. I came in, now you've seen people ask why, why do we do this, which are good questions. But so I would tell you, for me, if I was giving someone advice, at the latter part of their career and more mature at the age you highlighted there, I would talk about listening. That here, and reminding young people, reminding new officers, this is why we do what we do. That we are held accountable for our actions. That the community is watching. But listen to young people, hear what they have to say. Look, I will tell you, I work around young officers, in a different mindset with technology. Things move at different paces, different speeds. So I'd be a very, very active listener, knowing that what your mission is, and understanding at the end of the day you're going to be held accountable as a supervisor to give them clear direction, making sure that they understand, making sure that we explain why we're doing. When you and I first started, hey, go out and do this because I said so. Today I think you got to explain a little bit more. And I think it's better if that officer understands why we're doing what we're being asked to do, why we're being asked to do it, why we're doing it a certain way, what are other options we have, but also listen to them, answer their questions, and get that input. I think that's the best way. I think you'll get respect that way. The same with community. Sometimes it's just, let me take back and just listen, and then here's trying to explain it. I think that's the best. But look, if that person just got promoted to a sergeant, you got promoted for a reason. That people have faith in you and confidence in you, and just be true to who you are. The chief that I worked for in my career, you have to be true to who you are. You can't try to please everyone and adapt and change to every individual. Be who you are. Be open and honest, fair, and at the end of the day, as long as you're heading harder in the right place, you'll get there. But I would really suggest listening, open communication, follow up to make sure your direction is understood, that you've addressed their issues and concerns as well. And then I think making sure that you reward them, that you tell them good job, that you encourage them, uplift them, give them some challenges, take them out of the comfort zone a little bit, show them some different things, take them to meetings with you so they hear, so the community asks those questions. I can understand why we want to go back and talk to the community after an incident. So I would expose them to a little bit more. As a sergeant, I would bring them along to some of the meetings with me and let them kind of hear for themselves what others are asking you as a sergeant. Yeah, pretty all that. That's right. Anna, good morning, Chief. I know you stayed up late watching your team win. Thank you for all you do and great leadership. So Anna's talking about I'm assuming you're talking about the football championship, not so much the National Football League, but yeah, growing up in Cincinnati, I'm an Ohio State fan. And my friend Lauren here, who's helping me out today, is also from Ohio. So she gets to sport the Ohio State gear. I'm not able to do that. But yeah, I was excited. I was on the phone late with my dad last night and talking about the game. It was a great game. And the head coach for Notre Dame played at Ohio State. But no, I thought it was a great game. Really enjoyed it. Great first half. The second half, we got a little close for me. So I was like, oh my gosh. But man, yeah, it was a good game. I was glad to see Ohio State win. And after they lost to Michigan, I was a little concerned. But it's just great school, and it was just a really, really good game. I thought the college playoffs were really exciting. They made it fun. So I appreciate that. Michael, round up. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. I'll have to keep that as my screensaver for a while this year and see what happens. But no, it was really, really, really enjoyed the game. So we talked a little bit about where we ended the year. Let me just tell you a little bit about what we did over the weekend. We talked about the great contributions of Dr. King, Martin Luther King. I will tell you, we started out on Sunday, just after the church services. We had the parade, and we left the North Precinct and walked up Warwick and ended at Pastor Maxwell's church right there right by the Wawa there on Warwick. And I'll tell you, it was cold, it was raining, and there was some conversation about, are we going to walk? Do we just put people in cars? There were some kids that came out. And I'll tell you, they started out fine, and then they got outside and they were cold. So I'll have to say, Lieutenant Webster and others, they let some of the kids hop in the police car and get warm, and even ride through in the police car. So I give Lieutenant Webster a hard time, but he did a really good job. And some of the other officers that let kids get in the car with them and just kind of stay warm. But I'll tell you, Chief Grinstead made sure the route was safe. Myself and Chief Hires and Chief Creswell walked in the parade. It was a smaller number. And like I tell you, there's a lot of vehicles and people in vehicles that came out, but people who actually walked a little over a mile, or right around a mile and a half in that weather. There's good conversations. I saw people coming outside, opening their front doors and waving and talking to us, people telling us thank you. I got to walk with a couple kids and then some just individuals, some of our elected officials, people that I admire and respect, had some good conversations with. But there were two individuals that I walked with, I guess three. There was an older gentleman and just kind of told me his story. And there was a lady whose leg was hurt. Her knee was a little swollen, and she didn't move as fast as others. And I said, can I get you in a car? And she's like, Chief, I'm going to walk this. I'm going to make it. So we walked together and talked. And then there was a individual who came all the way over from Virginia Beach. And we just had some really good conversation. And she really touched me with, she was very appreciative that the police department was there and walking with them. But we just had a really, really good conversation about life, about making things better, looking out for one another. And so I really, really enjoyed it. Now, I got cold and a little damp, but it was a nice event. Afterwards, there was some food giveaway. There was some conversations, a little bit about Dr. King and his commitment. We talked about the weekend, the day of service, which was Monday. We'll talk about that in just a minute. And then, of course, there was the church service and some excellent gospel music. So that was Sunday. Yeah, that was Sunday. So I'm going to backtrack one day before Sunday, and I'm going to come back to Monday yesterday. So on Saturday, uh, the Admirals, right, the hockey team over in Norfolk. Uh, Saturday was the Newport News Day, right? So our vice mayor Curtis Bethany was dropping the puck at the game, and so was retired officer Skip Blanchard. And I've worked with Skip ever since I came to Newport News. I really developed a friendship and a respect. Of course, our vice mayor, right, big supporter of the police department and for this community. So several officers went to the game. Our own Kelly King here in the PIO office was there, media relations wise. Um, and I got to go and watch Skip, Officer Blanchard, Skip, and Vice Mayor Bethany drop the ceremonial puck at the beginning, and that place was just electric. Man, it looked like it was a sellout crowd. I talked to some of the staff there, and man, they were just very, very appreciative. Our honor guard was there; they did a great job. National anthem was sung. It was really electrifying. It was really, and I hear there was a lot of scuffles. I did not stay for the whole match, and unfortunately, we fell a little short. But it was just a really, really good event, highlighting our city over there in Norfolk, and being able to be around fans there. They had a lot of good conversations. A lot of people just said, "Thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you do," and that, I like it being a regional thing. So I got to see that on Friday. So fast forwarding to yesterday. So it was a little cold yesterday morning. We talk about a day of service, and Mayor Price and others started the city going to the food bank. So I got there yesterday. Myself, the three assistant chiefs, Chief Hires, Creswell, and Grinstead were there. Our mayor was there, and I don't know how he did it. He was in like three different outfits, right? He first had a police fire jacket on, and then fraternity, and then in the business attire, right? So he was like, I don't know if it was a phone booth, but it was pretty wild. Sheriff Gabe Morgan was there. A lot of our elected officials came. Pastors, Pastor Swan, Ivy Baptist Church, always big donors. And we had both of our recruit classes. So we had two recruit classes 23 in each class. We had our recruit classes there, and just to see them interacting, right? Interacting with citizens, working in the food bank, sorting, stacking, moving things around. And when we talk about service oriented, we can teach that from a PowerPoint in a classroom, but to have them out interacting with people, I just thought was huge. We had a couple of our young adult police commissioners, our president and vice president were there. Uh, they were going around doing some interviews, talking to the recruits, talking to the mayor. It was just a really, really, really good event. Anna Whalen, who coordinates a lot of our citizen volunteers, was there as well. It was just a really, really good event. I enjoyed it. We teased Chief Rogers of the fire department, Assistant Fire Chief Javon were there. It was just a really, really good event. We teased Chief Hires. He kind of controls that parking lot where the vehicles are in and out, and he likes it to be smooth. You can't park there and move it here. Don't move my cone. He had that locked down. The academy staff was there as well. So I really, really enjoyed that. We did that. Started about 9, ended up about 1 o'clock. Some good donations, both monetary and food as well, that came in, and people certainly in need. And we understand that. It was just really, 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 really nice. Is it Miss Jones? Is that where I'm at? Good morning, Chief. I'd like to know who I can contact in regards to protocol for investigations. Thank you for all you do. Yeah, Miss Jones. So if it's a violent crime or a property crime, probably if you just shoot me a call, I can shoot you a call back, kind of get some information about what you're talking about. I'm going to try to get this wording right. Direct message, is that right? If you do a direct message on Facebook post where we can see it, I'll call you myself and kind of get what the situation is where we're at. Sometimes it's just a follow-up, so maybe it's an unanswered question. I just need to know what kind of case it was, what precinct it happened in, and then I can direct either someone from that division to call you, or I can give you a number to call them. 911 operators, do you have a class you can attend before taking a test? So I will tell you a couple things. So no, we don't have a class we do have an academy right before before once you're hired, the academy, and then we go through the field training. But if it's something that you're looking at, if you contact us, I can arrange for you to go down, talk to a dispatcher, maybe visit the dispatch site, kind of see what it is that they do, talk to them a little bit, ask them how the best way to prepare. There may be like some practice tests I think that are out there on the internet that they have. What is it? Critical. They can help you a little bit in practice. But if that's something that you're in, we're always hiring for dispatchers. We just had a great graduation class, 10 or 11. They're in field training now, and we're really moving in a really, really good, strong direction. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know, and I'll do whatever I can to kind of help you along those lines. We'd love you to come join our department. There is now a house in my neighborhood, Sandra. There's now a house in my neighborhood that works on those loud cars that drive. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. That drive really fast down the street. Dangerous to say the least. I've almost been hit twice. I see no support. I see no support. This past Saturday, there were several kids in front of my house. They came out Sunday to a mess. I've seen downtown the neighborhood and now feel no support. So Sandra, don't get frustrated. I mean, it's okay to get frustrated, but don't give up. When you say no support, I don't know if you mean like calls and no one responds, or that it's still going on. There are laws that we have to abide by. Some of those cars that that have like the loud mufflers and it makes it sound like they're going really fast, but I see them driving like 35 miles an hour, right? But there are those that drive reckless, absolutely. So I'm going to give you the same advice: is if you will give me a number that I can reach out to you. Is it something? It's funny, we talk about that amongst the 7 city chiefs, right? Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Virginia Beach, Hampton, Newport News. We talk about that street racing and where they take over an intersection, and it is a real problem because people are going to get hurt. Those individuals that drive like that, but I'm more concerned about innocent individuals who are just going from point A to point B, and that stuff occurs. So if you're willing to have a conversation with me, let me get an address of where this might be happening at. We can certainly assign it to a couple officers to see what we can see through technology, through cameras that we may have in the area, or individuals that just take ownership of that and we make that their project. Sometimes it's knocking on the door and letting people know that we know what's going on here, and we have some concerns. Just introducing ourselves. Don't have to say who called, don't have to say anything about information. But I know it's easy to get frustrated. I get frustrated too when I see it. I don't get how you would put people at risk. So there's a couple options that we have. We get some license plates. After they get done driving, right, we go knock on somebody's door and maybe have a tow truck there to pick up somebody's vehicle. You know what I mean? So, it's okay to get frustrated, but don't give up. If you'll share with me a contact number, I can give you a call. We can have a little conversation and see what's the best route or what options that we have. Thanks. Okay, perfect. Send the number. That's great. Miss Neal, have a great rest of your afternoon, Chief. I want to thank you and your officers for your service. Well, Michaela, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate all the service that you gave to this community and department. Thank you for still staying close and attached. We've got a graduation coming up. I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit of new officers that will be joining this department. But I really appreciate you and Happy New Year. Hope you have a great year. So you take the critical call first, right? That's correct. And then before you do the academy. That's correct. Yes. So that's absolutely correct. And I'm open to providing you some either a phone conversation with a dispatcher, then you come in and kind of see what they do. Coming in and sitting down with a dispatcher and having some conversations, whether it's a dispatcher, a supervisor, Val, who does our academy, Laura, who runs the center, Captain Tegens, who oversees, just to have those conversations. I think that's it will at least give you some insight, right? But the critical test is first. That's correct. Sandra, I don't want to put my number on here. Okay, Sandra, let me tell you this. Let me ask you this: are you comfortable writing my number down? So just reply that yeah, Chief, give me your number and I'll call you and we'll make that happen. I sent an email to Sergeant Millette about coming up to Ashland. Is he still in recruiting? Yes, absolutely. I know people get reassigned Nope, he's still there. Keith, that's a great move. Millette, very much sergeant in recruiting, has done a great job. And while we're there, Ms. Cox, I saw your post. Thank you. Thank you for being on today. I appreciate that. Thanks for the conversation the other day as well. Keith, I got to share with you, man. We're a 472 department. We have 2 recruit classes in right now. Well, can I just see who the call is? Was Keith? Was that Ms. Cox? Yeah. Um, um, recruiting. So 472 authorized police department. We have 2 classes in right now in our new academy. We have 46 recruits in there altogether, 2 classes of 23. The first class graduates on Valentine's Day. How that worked out, I have no idea. But February the 14th, they graduate, 23 new recruits. I'm excited about that as they come on and be working in our communities and interacting with our citizens, the youth of our city. And I'm just really, really excited. The community is invited to attend. We'll be at First Baptist Church on there at the intersection there at Nettles and Warwick. It's a great graduation. We've really got some surprises. Man, I don't want to give it away, but it's hard. Our guest speaker, she's amazing, high school student. We're going to use the junior ROTC group from Mitchville as the honor guard. And we have celebrities that will be coming in and singing the national anthem. And I'm just going to leave that. I'm really, really excited. They reached out to us. Good conversation. I'm really, really excited for our graduation ceremony. Then the other class of 23 graduate in June, end of June. And we are currently filling the class, hiring for individuals to attend the class that will start in March. Our goal there is to get about 23 to 25, and if we hit that number, we will be fully staffed. The last time we were fully staffed was around 2019. We would be fully. Now I understand they still got to do 7.5 months in the academy. I get that. But to have people here that are coming here to work in this city, in the city of Newport News, to make sacrifices and serve this community and other citizens, I'm thinking that hits me, and I tell you, it hits me more and more. The more senior I get in this profession, it just people that are willing to do that, it really matters to me. So yeah, Joy says direct message it through Facebook Messenger. So I don't, if Lauren can send my cell phone number to you, do you have it, Lauren? Yeah.
I can send her a message.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, for people that want to do this job really across the country, they just have my complete respect. But I will tell you, those that want to do it in Newport News, if you looking to get into law enforcement and you want to do dispatching or in this uniform, there's so many different opportunities and jobs that you can do in this department. I'd really encourage you to take a look at us. So on that, we have a new portal out. So this portal is joinnnpd.com. It's a career portal. I think it's a much easier application for our department. Hooks you up directly, and even to promote it, sitting across from me, like I told you, Lauren is here with me today. A couple months ago, she came up with an idea to paint, wrap, if you will, some of our police cars, and to put that QR code on vehicles, right, with the new portal address, and so those cars hit the street over the weekend. We used one actually in the Martin Luther King parade. We have 4 out there, and they each are different. They even have a little bit different. It's a dark blue, light blue. Each of them have a different color scheme, and each of them have a different image of the city. So in the South Precinct, it has an aircraft carrier around the shipyard, right? In the Central Precinct, we use the skyline, if you will, of City Center. And in the North Precinct, we highlighted our parks, Newport News Park and canoes, the water there in the park area. And then, Keith, you mentioned Sergeant Millette. So in recruiting, he has a vehicle that has police headquarters on that vehicle. So I would encourage individuals that see them, please to send us a Facebook message that, hey, I saw one of the new recruiting vehicles. They are sharp. But Lauren came up with the design, We kind of sit and talked about what images we'd put on there, what really wanted to highlight the city. But that was it, man. We had to go through financial part and procurement and getting all that stuff straight. But I'll tell you, she did a great job. I'm really excited to see those cars out. So please, if you see them, they've got our career portal number on there, right? So that's joinnnpd.com. But there's 4 different vehicles, one in each precinct and one citywide recruiting. So if you see it, and talk to the officers, take a picture of the vehicle, not while you're driving, right? Maybe at a stoplight, but take a picture of it and let us know that you saw it. She did a really good job, and that's something we've been talking about a lot. But she was able to get it over the finish line, so just very, very appreciative of that. Do you know when the firefighter program will open back up? I don't. I can ask Chief Rogers. Maybe I can try to have that answer at 6 o'clock. I got to spend a little bit of time with Chief Rogers at the food bank. If he's on, he may send a message in or shoot me a text. But if not, I can certainly find out for you. Ms. Holyfield, yes, there will be February 14th with my. Oh, so you're going to be there? So yeah, look, I'm telling you that the police department graduations from a recruit class. That's an event in this city. Citizens come out. We highlight these we make it about them. I like to interact with the families. I'll tell you, there was a touching moment. It was 2 graduations ago, and there was an individual here. His parents couldn't make it, and they lived across country. So what happened is when he walks across the stage, one of the academy instructors came up and put his badge on. And when I went up to shake his hand, I asked him, "Do you have any family here?" And he's like, "No, Chief, they couldn't make it. They're across the country." So I turned around and faced the audience and announced that this new officer did not have any family that could join him on graduation day. And I'll tell you, when I turned back around, there were about 20 officers that got up out of their seats and walked up to take a picture with him, right? So you took that moment, that photograph of when you graduate, and what they're saying is, we're all part of your family. And man, I will tell you, the place erupted, and it sends a message about the fabric of what we do here. We don't always agree. We have disagreements. We go through, there are critical things that happen in our community, but it's a department who cares about the men and women who work here. And the people that do this job, this profession, for things that they see, things that they respond to, things that they give up to do this job, the things that they miss, right? It matters. And to see, I think Captain Bradley was the first one up, and then it was just like a flood of people, of officers, right? They came up and stood by this young man to you do have family here. And that was very, very special to me. Keith, I wish you could have seen that, man. That was really cool. And Miss Holyfield, I look forward to seeing you on graduation day. I'm telling you, pull me aside after and tell me if you've ever seen a graduation like that. I really want that to be special for those men and women who walk across that stage and get that badge pinned on their shirt. Keith, how close are you to the 30 by 30 initiative? Okay, that's a great question. So 30 by 30 initiative is some departments are looking to diversify and have their department percentage-wise 30% female. So I will tell you the national average is around 14 or 15%. And it's right. It's been a male-dominated profession for so many years, decades, right? So, we're made differently, and women bring something different to this profession. As in any, right? We're made differently. So I am so happy we signed on. Our goal is to be 30% population of female officers in our department by the year 2030. It was first brought to me by Lieutenant Roth. We had a conversation about it, what it meant. It's not just about going out and just hiring but really focusing and gearing recruitment towards females into this profession, into law enforcement. So, Keith, I will tell you, I think the last time I looked, it was 2 weeks ago, I think we're about 24%. Close to 20. I think we're at 24% right now. And I looked at the classes that are in. Man, we're hitting that mark. I'm just excited about the diversity. There's a couple of news outlets that have wanted to do some stories on the diversity of the Newport News Police Department. I've kind of held back on that so far. But I tell you, I am really excited where we're at, where we're headed. Applicants that have continued to come through. Keith, we had an all-day hiring event on Wednesday, right? We just tried the middle of the week. And I think they told me we had 9 people signed up, and there were like 16 that actually showed up. So it's just, when we talk to, what are you looking for in a part of a culture, community-oriented, technology, advancement, opportunity, but being in a department that is service-oriented and foundation to other people. So, yeah, that's great. Is that our portal that was just put up? So Lauren just put up our portal on the site. You can take a look at it. They've been working on that. Her and Kelly Madrid's done a great job. They've been working on that for a while, and I'm really, really excited to get that moving. One-day hiring events are setting the standard. My agency has done our first today. The spot interviews, background check. Yeah, so Keith, you're right. We do it all in one day, so you don't have to. When I was going through, you had to keep coming back, right? You had to keep coming back. They would do a little bit of that if you were out of state, but for the most part, you were doing a lot of coming. So now they're trying to do it all in one day, right? The physical agility test, the interview, a quick background. I mean, it's no doubt. Kim, it's good to have you on board. Hope you have Happy New Year to you. Thanks for joining us today. Ms. Womack, the city of Newport News will represent for sure. Yeah, I will tell you, if you're talking about graduation, it's a true event in our city. You and your team, Susan, thank you for that. I don't know about all that, but I appreciate it. Kim, I'm doing good. Excited about a new year. I'm really excited the successes we had in 2024. God really blessed this department and this city. You saw some historic reductions in our homicides and our shootings, and I'm really, really excited. We talked about our graduation coming up on February the 14th. We talked about the Admirals game, the food bank on Martin Luther King yesterday, right, that we were there. I hope you see some of those wrap cars. You got to take a picture, talk to the officer, take a picture with the car if you want. Our new portal that's on the vehicle, we just posted on our Facebook site here on this chat. We'll be working on our end of the year annual report. We were just actually talking about what are we going to put on the cover. So as Miss King and her team put that together, it kind of gives a much more overview, 30, 40 page booklet on what we did, community events, crime reductions, where we're at with staffing, the number of calls for service. I will tell you, our calls for service over the last 4 years have gone up about 50, 60,000. Each year we're seeing about a 12 to 15, 20,000 more calls each year. And that's from domestic violence, mental health calls, individuals seeing things and responding. And I like that. I like the citizens getting involved. It may be nothing at all, but to get a call and respond, I like that. So and that means a lot. But I look at that and knowing that as the call volume increases and our city grows, that we also have to grow this department. So it's one of the things that I'm talking to the city manager about, elected officials about what's our right size, where do we need to be? And you have to remember, at least in law enforcement, in some jobs, there's a vacancy, you hire someone, and in 2 weeks they're starting. In law enforcement, you can hire someone, but it's probably a year before they're on the street able to do the job, right? It takes about 2 or 3 months to recruit them, do the background investigation, 6, 7 months in the academy, and then they have to ride for about 3 months to get them certified through field training. So it's about a year process. So what we would ask for today is really looking ahead about what we need tomorrow, if that makes sense. So, but I think our we have to fund that. We have to find a way to pay for that. But I think our administration and leadership in our city see that and just how's the best route to get there. Faith, Happy New Year, Chief. Hope your holidays were great. Faith, I wish the same to you and your family. I hope for a great new year. God bless us and protect us, keep us safe, and continue to see good reductions, good community engagement. It's really, really important for what we do. We're all in this together, right? What happens to a family happens in a community, in a neighborhood. It affects our city. I know the mayor talks a lot about how are the victims doing? What are we doing with our youth? We have a lot of those conversations. I got to spend some time with him, not only at the Martin Luther King parade, but also the day of service yesterday. We had some really good conversations. Kim, sorry to say, I didn't get a call from you on Christmas like you promised. I lost my stepson to a fentanyl. Oh, Kim, I am sorry. I was here on Christmas Day. Well, I worked about half the day. I delivered pies to Kim, I baked them all, if you believe that. I delivered pies to each precinct in communications. I'm very, very sorry about your stepson, about what happened. Um, gosh, fentanyl, it affects, so you just don't know what's in some of the substances people use today. And just that exposure is a very, very dangerous drug. Um, I talked to the secretary of public safety a lot, and he all the time brings up fentanyl. State police, we have those discussions, statewide. I know the governor, that's a big concern of his. So I'm very, very sorry. I don't know how old your stepson was, but fentanyl it is very dangerous. So we got about 10, 12 minutes left. I just in recapping, kind of highlighted today about the year that we had in 24 compared to 2023. In the next couple weeks, I do a lot of baking. Yeah, there you go, Kim. Me and you both, right? Now I tell them I bake them. I just happen to use Food Line and Kroger boxes to throw them off a little bit. If you catch on to that. The next couple weeks, each unit in this department will come in front of me and the chiefs and kind of lay out their goals. We'll go over their goals of what they were in 2024. How many community walks did they want to do, and how many did we actually do? What was the reduction in burglaries that you wanted to see, and what did you actually accomplish? What were your crime reduction goals? Where did we end up at? What worked, what didn't work? So we'll be looking at the goals they set in 2024, and did they accomplish, not accomplish, why or why not, and then, of course, what are their goals for 2025 as we move forward. And then every Thursday when we have our CompStat meeting, our Intel meeting, we'll go over where are we at. And we try to track that every week. We're looking at those numbers. You remember back when we started talking today, we started talking about data, but we know those are people, neighborhoods, right? Individuals. But I want to know are our strategies working, and we'll select neighborhoods that we're really going to focus on. We'll do one of those in each precinct. We select, like, we want to increase our Facebook followers to, I think we're right around maybe 65,000 now.
Mhm.
Kelly gets pretty admirable with that. Like she may say, yeah, I want to be at 70, but we'll talk about those things. What do we want to do with budget? How much money do we want to allocate for training? I will share with you that a big focus this year for me is on our training. Now that academy is open, the classrooms are all set up. I want to see that classroom like a college setting. I want to see people coming and going. I want to bring training here. I want to be sending officers out. I think the school resource training, regional training is going to be held here. I think tomorrow this week, we have a hostage negotiator training, regional. It's going to be here in our department. I want this department of Newport News and our training academy to be known for education. I want to bring in outside instructors, CNU and from other colleges, to talk about psychology and sociology, how what affects a neighborhood or a street or a block, how it can affect the whole community. Psychology, how do people think the way they do? How do they process? What are some things that make people react certain ways? I just want us to get to work smarter, if you will. There's going to be some leadership classes where I'm going to ask the coach of CNU basketball team to come in and talk about teamwork. We have such a heavy military presence. I'd like someone from Fort Eustis, someone from Naval Weapons Station to come in and talk about leadership, right? Being prepared and having the right mindset to do this job. I also want people from schools to come in and talk about organization and how important it is to make sure that people learn different ways and what is the best way to teach and what are some other options. So I really want to expand. One of the things that I plan to do, I have to present our budget to city managers and others on the 29th of January. So we have 5 or 6 things that we're asking for. And I'll tell you, right after that, February 1, the next thing that we're going to purchase, we have a grant for it through technology, is a simulator, and not just one screen. This is a 360 simulator that we're going to put in the academy. We're going to run recruits through that. You can put 2 to 4 individuals in this. You kind of step up on a platform and you're surrounded by screens. but I want recruits to go through that. You can run it, that you go to roll call and then you have a 10 or 15-minute session. It keeps our mind sharp, but I also want to run our young adult police commissioners. I want to run our faith leaders. I want to run community organizers, people who make decisions, right? I'd love for city council to go through, the school board members to go through, and some, Keith, some will say, well, it's like a video game. I'll tell you, in one of those sessions, you go put your hand on someone's heart that's just gone through, and you feel that heart racing. That's more than a video game, right? When you're looking at scenarios, and it talks about how to de-escalate. Do you use your ASP-baton? Do you use OC spray? Do you use your taser? Do you use a firearm? Are you able to verbally communicate? Can you back away from a situation and not force a situation? It's all about training and doing things better. And I really want this to be the year that we focus on training and education in our department. I want us to be known for that, on cutting edge of things, new technologies, new strategies, new skill sets to serve our citizens. I just think that's so vital and so important. Kim says he turned 33. Wow. And he died on Christmas Eve. Yeah, Kim, I am really, really sorry. Like I said, fentanyl, I know it affects so many families. Our paramedics, the stuff that they respond to, lives that they save if they can get there in time. Narcan, officers have it, the paramedics have it. It's just, yeah, I don't know if he was struggling or if it was a one-time thing or an exposure, but I'm very, 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 very sorry for your loss. Keith, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to get in the dunk tank. Yeah, good. That's not going to happen. Yeah, the schedule's full. Good. Even though if I get you out of the boat on YAPC kids in the ocean, we can get something much deeper than the kiddie pool. That's right. That's good, Keith. Chatting with you. Please be safe and have a great day. Keith, you too. Keith talked about our young adult police commissioners. I want to hit on that in just a second. Is it Robin? Robin. Hey, Happy New Year, Chief and Kelly. So, Robin, Kelly's going to be with me tonight. Lauren is here with me this afternoon. She's sporting her Ohio State gear today, so we're connected on that pretty well today. Hope all is well. Thank you Robin. Thank you. It means a lot. You just took the time to send that. I appreciate that. Keith hit on the young adult police commissioners. So just hitting on that a second. I know we got a little bit of time left. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from every high school. We got 6 high schools, 6 times 4 is 24 kids, 24 students. We got like over 40 kids this year, right? We went from putting them in police cars and picking them up from school to bringing them here. We meet every Wednesday. We have some conversations about 21st century policing. We have debates. We talk about things going on in the community, what it looks like through their eyes, what kind of department they want to see, what they think of government. They go to different events with us, community walks. They'll go, I think in the month of February, they're going down to introduce themselves to the mayor and city council. They're talking about bringing the conversation of youth to the table, make sure their voices are heard. In March, I have a panel, myself and 2 or 3 other officers, whether it's forensics and special victims, K-9, internal affairs, that will go to the schools, and those kids will facilitate about an hour discussion, question and answer. And man, it's just, they have some of the best questions. Now, it takes a while for the first one, but once they start, man, we're off and running. I really appreciate the schools allowing me to get in and do that and have some interaction with them. But I bring that up to say, at the food bank, right, on Martin Luther King Day of Service yesterday, in the cold weather, the president and vice president both showed up. They stayed the whole time. And man, it was just great to see them. And they went right up and talked with the mayor. They talked with Sheriff Morgan. They talked with the fire chief. They met and encouraged the new recruits. And just to get young people involved, I think is such a benefit. So Keith, and he brought up bringing them on the boat. So in the warmer months, we will put them on the police boat, let them go out a little bit. Nobody's fallen off yet, so the guys do a pretty good job with them. But they're just a great bunch of kids, man. And to have that interaction, we do a gala at the end of the year and just celebrate them a little bit. But I think we have some of the most talented young people in the state right here in Newport News, if not the country. And just to interact with them, it makes you look at this job differently, right? It makes you, and I will tell you, one of the best events we have is we bring the recruits in and the students, right? High school students. And some of them are not much younger than the recruits that are graduating. And they have this conversation that we facilitate. And about 45 minutes in, you'll hear the young people, the students say, respect us. Don't judge us by our skin color. Don't judge us by our gender. Don't judge us by the community we come from or our zip code. Judge us from interactions of who we are. And you know what those recruits say? Don't judge me because of these patches that I wear. Don't judge me because of my profession. Don't judge me because of some interaction you've had with another officer. Judge me for who I am. And they just both talk about respect. And it's every time, man, it's about that 35, 45-minute threshold, and the conversation you just see them come together. And those high school students, I'll tell you this. On February the 14th, the whole community here is invited to our police graduation. February the 14th, it's at 10 o'clock in the morning at First Baptist Church. There will be high school students that miss school, so Dr. Mitchell, I apologize. We'll try to get them all excused this time. There will be high school students who miss school and come to watch police officers graduate. And you will see officers, myself included, that will go to those high school graduations to see them graduate, to go to plays that they do, basketball games, that they build these relationships. And every one of our graduations always has a high school student as a guest speaker. That's powerful. That's really powerful. So did I miss anybody? Did we hit? Kim, I saw that. It's just, my heart goes out to you. I hope you're, nothing can replace that, but time and just how you process it. So I want you to know from me, I'm very, very sorry. So here we are in 2025. I'm excited. We still have our use of force review boards that are going on. We have citizens engaged in that process. Our promotional processes, we're having citizens come in, sit on the panels. Our citizens help select the next leadership of this department. Citizens in this community help select officers who are being hired here from the all-day recruiting events, those short interviews that they have, and they ask, why do you want to be in law enforcement? Why do you want to do law enforcement in the city of Newport News? So again, this year for me, we're going to continue to push on solving crimes, addressing crimes before they happen, keeping a police presence in city center. Some of our community is starting to develop and being rebuilt, the CNI initiative in our South Precinct. What we're seeing with our shipyard area and the Navy influence that we have there, making sure that our sailors are safe that are here from other parts of the country and stationed here while those floating cities are being refueled and worked on and repaired. So I'm excited. I'm appreciative of our faith-based community. I'm appreciative of the dispatchers that we have here, the men and women who join this department, sworn in civilian, what we do here in media relations, our folks that are working down in records, our forensic technicians, our background investigators and recruiters who, when I talk to individuals about why did you choose Newport News, and one of the things they talk about is how they're treated when they pick up the phone and first apply. Their background investigators calling them, encouraging them, staying in touch with them, keeping them in the loop. I don't want to lose anybody because, I haven't heard anything in 3 weeks. I'm going to go look for another department. It's important that we invest in people who want to come work here. They've just done a phenomenal job. The recruiters and background investigators, I could not be more impressed with the work they do. They're keeping me updated on those numbers weekly, the diversity of this department, our community. It matters, and at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So I appreciate those that have been with us in the past, those that joined today. It's a good session. Did I get Brian? Brian, just keep doing what you do, man. You've got Brian. Man, I appreciate that, my friend. That means a lot, more than you know. I'll be back at 6 o'clock this evening. Kelly will be joining me, but again, I'm very, very appreciative. God bless you. Thank you all for what you do. Look out for one another, and we'll do this again at 6 o'clock. Take care.